every year when I go on a trip, I try to update my medical kit. I have a medical kit I keep on my left saddlebag as an emergency. And so this is the basics of what I keep in there. I do have a couple more medical supplies here, but I have like an emergency bag that I have for other stuff, which is like basically a poncho, some something that you wear so that people can see you in the dark, extra ponchos and stuff like that. So basically these are the things I have, and a mosquito net and a bivy just in case. So this is one emergency kit, but these items will go in there. And this is a medical bacteria soap. This is like it's actually called vet material, but it's like a liquid glue that you can hold together after cuts. Keep an icy hot patch in there. I have some stretchy tape and some adhesive tape, which really should be in this kit, but I can't put it in this kit. So I just have to keep that handy if we need it. And a tourniquet. This is what I put together in this one little pouch. And so basically I have all the things that you would need if there was an emergency: a sleep aid, Gas X, anti-diarrhea, motion sickness. I also do have like to stop you from throwing up, prescriptions, and then I have Mucinex time release, Dayquil, NyQuil, and then some Sudafed. And so basically all of these are just in case of emergency. I keep these things handy. Then I've got things for your stomach. This is a prescription version of ibuprofen, 800 milligram, and then lower doses just in case somebody needs a lower dose. Allergy medicines, and then all the stuff for antibacterial, headaches, liquid stuff for cuts. I do keep super glue in here as well, so that sometimes it works well for cuts. I know a lot of people don't like to use super glue for that, but I do use it sometimes in emergency if these things don't work. And then bleed stop, and then a bunch of gauze non-stick pads, band-aids of different kinds, stuff for like corns or blisters, tweezers, some tooth items, including tooth material and pain medicine for teeth, just in case something happens while you're on the road, a bacterial combat oil, basically for ointment, and then eye stuff as well. So this will be in one bag, and then as I described, these other items will be in this other bag, and these will go in my saddle bag. I know everybody was wondering how I was going to get all that stuff in this one bag, but there it is. That's what it looks like when it's all packed up, ready to go. And then this is the other one. So additionally, I carry a jumper for the bike, so that basically if something happens to the battery, we can jump it off, or somebody else can. Have we used it? Yes. I've had 2 or 3 of these actually, and we've used them all at some point. And then I have a tire pump. Now this one's battery operated. Generally speaking, it is nice to have a battery operated one, but the micro ones are probably a little bit better, the ones that plug into a bike, because they're smaller and they don't need a battery, so you don't have to take up the space with the battery and charge them. But right now I'm carrying this one with me, and so far it's worked. And then I have kit stuff to actually replace, fix a tire or something as well. And I put that in a different container than what I got. This is a slime container I got for another pump. This is the tool bag that I'm using. Now I'm not using any of the tools. I'm just using the wrap. I think these tools are kind of cheap, so I have replaced most of the tools in this bundle, and it just barely fits in there, so I can put it in my side saddle. And I'm gonna unroll this. So basically this is what my roll looks like. It's pretty tight here. Trying to do this one-handed. But basically I try to have just about everything I can in case anything goes wrong. And so far I've been pretty lucky. We've pretty much had almost every tool that I needed, except for maybe a hammer or something, but we don't use a hammer very often. I do keep things like adhesives And I do have in here some things to do some soldering and some wiring. So the knob off kits, metal, has metal, cable ties, and wrench adapters, screwdriver adapters. And then in here there's also some Loctite. So wrenches and fold up wrenches, pretty much everything I think I need to do any of these jobs. So the other items that I carry in the bike here, basically I keep this, which is a piece of plastic in here for my horn. Sometimes after a year or so, the horn piece of plastic wears out. So I have a piece that's cut and ready to go. I keep it in the side. Then I keep some funnels. And then I have some paperwork on like how the jumper works, and then specs for my bike, and what I would need to do. And then I keep a piece of metal soundproofing. Basically, I can use this for a number of things, like aluminum to wrap around something or do something. Then, additionally, I have some tools that go in the bottom. I keep some high temperature gloves in case I have to grab a pipe or something for some reason. These are made with Kevlar. So I'll keep these down in the bottom. And then I have some rags and a pump. There's a pump in here for the height of my seat so that I get some cushion in the process. So I'll squish these down in here so they'll fit flat, and it makes the bottom flat. Then I have some tools. I have something to take off my oil filter and a small funnel for dealing with oil if I have to. That'll go down in here. I have some items that hold down your jeans and snaps. I use them for other stuff. And then these are the specific tools for a motorcycle to open the oil container, stuff like that. Then I usually carry a water weld and a steel weld stick. I'm freshening up my steel weld stick, so I have a new one inside somewhere. I have some additional screws I just kind of keep loose in there. Then I have, these are so that I can access them quickly without having to open the bag, because these are the most common things I use. It's going to be hex and star shape in order to get into the seat or the bike or anything else. And then I just keep a couple of loose items that I need for the seat. I also have these attached here. These are the items that I use to remove the screws so I can change out the trunk and open and close the trunk and take those pieces with me. Then I keep some, they don't sell this anymore. This is Loctite. It's pumice cleaner for your hands, but you don't need water or anything. It dissolves and cleans your hands, and you just wipe them off with a cloth or something. So they don't make these anymore, but I've still got like 30 or 40 of them. So I keep them down here in the bag in case I need to clean my hands. I keep an extra set of, I have some lights. I don't think the package is inside, so I keep some extra bulbs in there. And then I keep some extra brake pads that are already used, or I have one new pair and used pairs, just in case these still have some life on them, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 miles. So if something happens and my brakes wear out, I've at least got some used ones that I can swap them out with real quick in a parking lot. So I put those in there. Then I keep these are my jumper cables to go with the battery that's inside. And I'll flatten this out up against the side here, and then I'll fit the other bags in so it'll fit just like this when they're in there. And then just some rubber gloves. And then I'll have two more bags besides the tool bag and the other stuff you saw, a rain bag and a cold bag. So basically I just keep some long johns wrapped up in there and a rain bag for when there is a rainstorm. That's it for this side. These are the additional items that are going to go in that side bag, which these are extra light bulbs, just in case something happens. They're LED lights, so if one blows, they're kind of hard to get. So I'll have those with me. Then I'll put extra CR32 batteries for remotes and stuff in there. And then I'll add the steel stick to the other water stick, and then this emergency flashlight that I keep in the pocket just in case cheap sticks or magnet on things. That'll go in that bag. All right, for my travels, I have a tank bag, and I basically keep this in the front of the bag in the tank so that I have access to it while I'm riding. So I keep some eye drops. I do have a little bit of, in case I, for some reason, need to sand something. And then some ibuprofen just in case. And then those zip and shut. And then I have an insulated water bag. So basically I keep 2 liters of water in here and then run the hose out. I use some leather straps to strap around underneath the tank, so make sure it doesn't like fly off or anything. I have side mirrors that are stick-ons. I don't really use them very often, but occasionally if I need them. Pistachios, and then a roll-up cup. So basically a water bottle, so I can keep extra water if I need to, because you go through a lot of water on these. And then basically an extra spot over here where I can keep other things as I'm picking them up or putting them down. And then across the top, it has a zipper for kind of using it like a wallet. So it basically goes underneath here inside, and then there's a magnet that goes to the top, and I keep little souvenirs, and you can also put a map in here so you can see a paper map while you're riding. And then I can carry this bag on and off as I leave. It's got magnetic mounts, and then I wrap a leather mount around it to hold it on the bike. So that's pretty much it for my tank bag. It's mostly for water and snacks or something while I'm riding. Okay, so my bike has been completely done. I did oil changes. I tightened all the bolts around the engine. I double checked the horn and all the connections, electrical. I did bleed the fluids for the brakes, replaced the rear brake. Front still has pretty good life on it. Double checked my lights. I got 5 lights around the bike. Then I have lights all over the bike. If I touch my brake pedal, my whole bike will turn red. So basically people can see me, and I keep red lights in between the bags here. So I've got lights that are down inside the bags that make it glow red when I'm riding, especially at night. Then I've got additional flashers for lights. Then you'll see there's a rear camera, and I have a camera that it sits on the dashboard here, and it has Wi-Fi and GPS and stuff, so it can tell all the parameters. And then there's a Wi-Fi mount right there, and then the front has a front camera. I'm not using this to make videos to put up on YouTube or anything. This is just a dash cam, so I use this for, somebody hits me, something happens, cop stops me, whatever. And then I got a new seat cushion, basically lets air through, so it kind of gives you blown on your butt while you're riding. I made some water bottles, so I have 2 water bottles. I use like holsters. So I hand carved those and made those leather holsters for the water bottle, so I can keep extra water while I'm riding, because you go through a lot, or various drinks. Sometimes it's coffee in one in the morning and Gatorade in the other, and then water in the tank bag. So I'm pretty much ready. Then I have a CarPlay device, which is a 7-inch screen, which would then be running from one of the phones. That I travel with 2 phones. I have an Android and an iPhone, and then they both have a quad lock mount, so they can charge if I want to charge them. And then at the same time, I have a GPS, because CarPlay is not GPS. So you get out some places where you don't have GPS signal, the only thing you can do is use a real satellite to actually pick that up. So I've got that set up. So, and then I'm gonna swap this out with a trunk. So there will be a trunk on here, and then I'll have fluids and everything else that goes with that. So otherwise everything's all set up to run. I have my bell my daughter got me, and basically the rest of the stuff is ready to go. Oh, I have a super loud horn, 130 decibels, which really makes a big difference on the road. And then I have a garage door opener that I built that goes attached to the bike inside, and there's a button underneath the dash here that I can push to open and close the garage. But the bike has to be powered. I set it up for a 6-second delay after powering on the bike. And I have extra wires over here bound to the handlebar just in case I need to charge something on the road. And that's pretty much that portion. And then I will cover what goes in this bag later.